Hi everyone, this is Steve Field from the Prime Safety Department. I'd like to welcome you to our second video. This is a series that we've been making as we go through the COVID-19. I want to start with this today. These are truly the best of times, the worst of times. And I didn't write that, that's from Charles Dickens, but that really describes what we're in, the worst of times. We're scared, we don't know what's going on, we go to the store, the shelves can be empty, we're worried about our families, but we're getting through it. And when we talk about the Prime family, it truly is the best of times. It's just amazing what you're accomplishing out there, the teamwork that we're seeing between everyone in the company, so many accolades, so many compliments for what you're doing out there. And it truly is making this a great opportunity for trucking to shine and for Prime individually to shine. So I wanted to thank you for that. We've got some great speakers lined up. I'm going to go ahead and start them here, and then I'll see you at the end of the video and we'll talk about a few more things. Thank you.
Good morning. Good to talk to you all again. You know, these are some kind of times, right? We've been battling here. We've had an enormous effort from our folks here in-house and our drivers. I couldn't be more proud than to be associated with you all. It's just been amazing. You know, our drivers are the frontline soldiers in this battle, and you're doing a fantastic job. And it's so much appreciated, so much needed. Like I said last week, you're truly my heroes, and I know you'll get the job done. You know, we can't really predict the future. This is kind of a 1 week at a time deal, even 1 day at a time. So we're just going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. You know, a great journey begins with the first step, and that's how we're looking at this. We're delivering products that our customers and our nation desperately needs, and you know, doing a hell of a job. So thank you very much. Keep on trucking. Be safe.
Happy Thursday from Springfield, Missouri. My name's Steve Wutke, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Prime. Very, very proud of what you're doing. You probably won't know this, but this little phone here, we got people all over Missouri working rather than being in the office trying to protect themselves. So this technology that we have is seamless to you all. We're still booking freight, we're still downloading it, as you know, probably quicker than we have in the past, as a matter of fact, in most areas. So we're trying to do the right thing. And in response to that, we want you to do the right thing. And that is take care of yourself. Try to use hand cleaner every chance you get. I know it's a tough job. We got our customers working toward that end as well, trying to do everything they can to help you. We also know there's instances where they have had to shut down their restrooms and do some things that are very, very inconvenient. We're not a fan of that. We've tried to discuss that with them and try to find better solutions. But in the meantime, you guys be safe out there. You gals be safe out there. Pick them up and deliver them on time. Do it safely. I don't think we've had a better run for business than we have the last couple of weeks. Now, what'll happen next week? Who knows? It's kind of a yo-yo. But I can tell you this, our team here, our operations team here, fighting every day for you. Fighting for every load, for every penny. So thank you. I live in a neighborhood that a lot of folks don't know exactly what I do, but they know I work for a trucking company. They don't know what I do for that trucking company. But in the last couple of weeks, I've had at least 15 people say, thank your drivers. So thank you very much for what you do. Be safe. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey everybody, this is Jim Guthrie. I work in our reefer operations area, and I just wanted to give you an update on some of the things that are going on this week. First, I want to absolutely thank all of you for all you're doing. We've had a lot of great feedback from our customers. They're really impressed with everybody helping out and getting freight delivered to all of the nation's food supplies. So thank you very much for all you're doing. Business is still strong. We are seeing some ups and downs, and we expect to see some ups and downs over the next few weeks, but we still like to see everybody out there available, because it's definitely making an impact, and it's certainly helping our customers today, and it'll help our business long term as well by your performance right now. So thank you for all you're doing. I'll tell you that we do have some challenges on trailers. across the country, some shippers and receivers are having labor problems, or they're having stock problems in their DCs and warehouses. So we're working really hard operationally to find every trailer we can find and limit any issues as much as possible. But we may ask you to be a little patient with us in some areas, some days, as we work with our customers and our shippers and our receivers to get these trailers unloaded so that we can get them to you and get hauling freight. So last week our driver earnings were record earnings in the reefer division. So you guys are continuing to amaze everybody here. We're so proud, prime proud to see what we've accomplished, and we really appreciate it. We want everybody out there to stay healthy and take the necessary precautions, and we're going to get through this period together. There's been some questions about going into hot spots to deliver. One thing to keep in mind is whenever you go into certain areas that are hot spots, say New York, New Jersey area, those receiving and shipping locations are taking the necessary precautions as well, and you may encounter some different requirements and some different processes at different procedures or at different shippers and receivers. But the best thing for you to do is take your necessary precautions, and that limits your risk, and understand that those folks are doing the same on their end, and everybody should be fine. So it's a good opportunity still to stay out there and make some good money and help get the food supply delivered to the nation. Again, we appreciate all you're doing, and we'll be back next week with a new update. Thank you.
Good morning from the Tanker Division here at Prime. I'm Brett Vonwiller. I work up in operations. Wanted to give you a little update from the tanker side of things. Let's start with the customer side. Our customers are still running strong on the food grade side as well as the pet side. On the food grade side, the only customers that are really slowing down are the candle makers, the soap makers that we deliver our food grade oils to. They have virtually come to a stop, but our food grade oils that are going into the food market are still going strong, and from the forecast it looks like they will be strong throughout the rest of this month. On the driver's side of things, the drivers are out running, still at about 82 to 85% in service. That is about our normal, and I appreciate you all for being out there and continuing to deliver our loads for us and for the communities around you. From the tank wash side of things, we have 3 terminals. We have one here in Springfield, one in Decatur, Indiana, and Savannah, Georgia. All 3 of those are up and running. All staff is reported healthy. Everyone's doing their part. They are coming out and meeting you guys in the yard, try to help you guys out so you don't have to be out of your truck. We're giving you paperwork. We have some hand sanitizers at both locations in Savannah and Indiana, so they're helping with that as well. I just want to say thank you from myself and from my family for what you all are doing. Please stay safe out there.
Hey Flatbed team, this is Brian Brown from the sales department. Just wanted to reach out to you again and just encourage you guys. I wanted to also take a moment to thank you for what you're doing out there, and just really appreciate all of you being out there on the front lines. And from my family and the Prime family, just wanted to say thank you for everything that you're doing. I know right now it's not easy out there, but just want to assure you guys, last week we had a really pretty good week for Flatbed. We actually beat the same week as last year, so really a pretty good indicator for us that it was a good week. This week it started out pretty strong, but being the first of the quarter, first of the month, things will slow down, but that's pretty typical. Combined with what's going on out there, it's no surprise that freight is a little bit softer toward the end of this week. I spent a lot of time this morning talking to our team on the sales side at least, and things are looking pretty good for next week starting out, so I feel pretty encouraged by that and want you guys to be encouraged. We do have a lot of good things going on out there. We got our scores back on our Home Depot business. Had probably some of the best scores of any carriers out there amongst about 50 carriers. That's a tribute to you guys and the service that you're providing out there. It also helps us go out and get a lot more business. So I just want to say thank you for that. what you do out there does matter when we're out there trying to get you more freight. So picking up and delivering on time is very, very important, and you guys are the best at that for sure. Aside from that, you know, with the current conditions and being the first of the month, first of the quarter, you know, we would ask that you guys be flexible, be open to, you know, maybe running some freight you otherwise maybe wouldn't, or going places that maybe you don't like to go. We all need to be flexible right now, and you know, we're booking every load we can book right now because we want to make sure that you guys have plenty of freight to haul. Just need you guys to be flexible right now and work with us to support that freight as best you can, and pick it up and put it down, and we'll move on to the next one. So please support what we've got out there to offer you. We're going to continue to try to put every dollar in your pocket that we can. Aside from watching this portion of the video, I would encourage you guys to go out and watch, you know, Jason Seymour. I don't want to be redundant, but he put out a lot of good things about the COVID-19 and precautions there, things that we're doing as a company to make sure that you've got supplies out there at the terminals. We've got hand sanitizer being delivered. But again, I don't want to be redundant on all of that. So please watch the full video and watch the Jason Seymour portion of that. As far as business goes, we're really pushing hard. We're leaning on our partners. We're getting some good responses from that. We've asked all of our partners out there to push their freight Prime's way, and we're getting some good responses. So we're booking up everything that we can. For you guys out there, just do what you can to stay healthy. Keep practicing all of those social distancing efforts when you're at the shippers and at receivers. Wash those hands, do everything you can to take care of yourself and your families back home. Again, just want to say thank you. Really appreciate you drivers out there. Some of you don't know this, but for me, it's very personal, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I've got a sister that runs on the reefer side. She's now working on her second million miles as a safe driver here at Prime. She's a diamond out there. Super proud of her. But, you know, really care about you guys very deeply out there. We've got all of our salespeople working very hard to get you all the freight that we can. Our dispatchers are working very, very hard. You know, a lot of our folks are working from home, and I want to assure you that we've not lost any productivity. In fact, I think people are digging in and working more hours and working harder than they ever have before for you guys. So just know that you've got a great support team here, but let's keep trucking, let's stay positive, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you.
Hello again, it's Dr. Abraham from Trinity Healthcare at Prime. Just giving you an update of some of our COVID information that is ever changing. We officially have 3 cases of positive COVID at the Springfield terminal, and kind of shows you how serious it is and how easily it can spread. It's one of those things you never think it can happen to you, but it's affected our family now. So we do need to continue to be diligent about washing our hands, staying clean, maintaining that social distance from one another, just so we can avoid that spread. If you look at some of the new stuff that's coming out, in New York, they've started testing every single OB delivery that's coming in, and a good percentage of those are positive for COVID, and they're finding that even asymptomatic people can be positive for the virus and thereby potentially spread it. Another new development was the change in the quarantine regulations. If somebody's been exposed to someone that has had COVID, they will trace back to 48 hours prior to the onset of symptoms, and anybody from that date going forward has possible risk of contracting as well. So if you have come in contact with somebody that has had COVID, and you, for example, your last day may have been Monday, you need to be in quarantine for another 14 days after that. That means staying isolated at home, keeping a 6-foot distance from people, making sure you're washing your hands frequently. If you do have symptoms, covering your mouth when you cough in the corner of your elbow. If you cough into a tissue or a handkerchief, throwing it away afterwards, just so you're not continuing to spread the germs of the virus around. Also, like we said, everything's constantly changing. I do want to thank Nick Sasso for pointing out that the hand sanitizer formula we had on the website is no longer correct. FDA came out and put out new guidance and direction on that, and it is not a high enough concentration of alcohol. You pretty much have to have 99% isopropyl alcohol for that, and that is near impossible to find unless you're a pharmacy or a commercial producer of it. We are doing testing down at the clinic, and it's actually in the driveway behind the clinic. We're trying to avoid bringing anybody with symptoms into the building to contain any kind of exposure. So if you are symptomatic, getting with Jason Seymour, he can help arrange and coordinate us performing the test on you. The test isn't the most comfortable one. It goes inside your nose, and it goes from about here all the way back. I'm gentle though, I promise. But results, we're taking about 10 days or down to about maybe 5 days now. And it's if you do have symptoms and we suspect COVID, it's not a bad idea to check, just so we can help continue to contain that spread instead of having you wandering around out there. We are looking at a couple of the quick test methods. One is a nasal swab, the other one is a finger stick. But as we find out more about those and look at the science behind them, we'll give you guys more information. But that could be something that could give us results in as little as 15 minutes. Thank you.
Hey everybody, Jason Seymour in Reefer Operations. Again, thanks for what you're doing out there. I just want to let you know we're all working hard operationally to support you in any way we can. A few things I want to talk about today, just an update on where we're at on screening in the terminals. We are still screening at all 3 of our locations in Springfield, Pittston, and Salt Lake City. When you enter the Plaza building, you'll be asked a series of questions and we'll obtain a temperature as well. Depending on the outcome of that test, will determine on whether we feel like we can allow you access to the terminal or not. Now, even if we can't allow you access into the terminal, I want to assure you that if you need food, we can get you food. If you're here to drop a load or pick up a load or get fuel, we can handle all those situations for you. It really just comes down to whether we want to allow access to walk around the terminal, depending on those risk factors and potentially symptoms. Another note on that, we did add as you know, there was 5 questions that we had. We did add a 6th one as of yesterday on Wednesday, April the 1st. That really has to do with regard to New York City and New Jersey, kind of that metropolitan area. I'm sure you've watched the news and seen the reports. There's over 100,000 cases in New York and that New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, Jersey City area. So we really feel like if a person has been on time off in those areas, then that is a risk factor that we need to mitigate for not only yourself allowing access to the terminal, but the other associates here. Now, I want to assure you, picking up or delivering a load in those locations is fine. Okay, that will not preclude you from being allowed access to the terminal. We spoke with our customers and they have been taking the same precautions that we are and that you are. And so we're confident that if you just pick up a load in Jersey City, for example, or you deliver a load in Newark, you know, then we're fine as long as the rest of that screening stuff is okay. But if you live in that area and if you've been at home in the community in the last 14 days, then we're going to ask that you not come into the terminal until 14 days has passed. A note on supplies. Good news, we have sanitizer in Springfield. We got it up and running yesterday. We have towed 250 gallons on the way to Pittston, and there's another 250 gallons that's on its way to Salt Lake City today. We have bottles, there's pumping stations. If you have your own bottle, you can bring it in. It'll be right in the inbound plazas where you enter the facilities at all 3 of those locations. Again, it's up and running in Springfield, and it'll be operational in Pittston and Salt Lake City by the end of the week. For those of you that might be at some of the satellite locations, Savannah, Georgia, Reed City, Laredo, Decatur, we're getting some sent out to you folks too, okay? So if you need supplies in the way of hand sanitizer, just make sure you reach out to somebody here and we'll get those sent out to you. Now the bad news on supplies is we're still struggling at sourcing masks, gloves, Clorox wipes, paper towels, all these other things that you need to do, that we need to, in order to sanitize the trucks for your own personal safety. We're working hard at it. We're really looking everywhere we can, but as you know and you've experienced, everybody is looking for those things. So we'll keep you posted on that as we gain progress, hopefully. A note with regard to face masks, and this just came up really yesterday afternoon. We're aware of Laredo and maybe one other municipality that has recently passed ordinances stating that if you are out in public, you have to be wearing a face mask. Well, then the problem is nobody can get face masks. I mean, if you look on Amazon, you can't get them delivered until the middle of May, which is probably too late to really accommodate what we're needing to do now. All right. So now these municipalities, they have put out, there's some potential fines and stuff. So we want to make sure that we're complying with the law. But how do you do that when you can't get a face mask? Scarves, bandanas, t-shirts, those things do work. They'll comply with the law, but it's important to recognize that they really don't give you the same protection that a mask would. Just because you're wearing a bandana over your face, over your nose and your mouth, doesn't make you bulletproof or make you immune to being able to catch these respiratory droplets that could potentially spread the disease. So it's okay to wear those things to comply with these city ordinances that are being passed, and I would guess just the way things are going, there may be more being passed in the near future. But it's just important to understand that the main things that you can do to mitigate your risk of catching this or being exposed to it are washing your hands as often as you can and thoroughly, sanitizing your hands as often as you can and thoroughly, social distancing, that is the key. Whether you're wearing a mask or not, if you're 6 feet away from somebody, then you're not gonna get it. Okay, you're not gonna be able to catch it, or that greatly mitigates your risk of exposure. So practice those things when you can. All right. We expect our customers to do that as well, and that's our last point. We've started getting some reports trickling in from some receivers, from our drivers that have been to shipping locations or receiving locations where the setup really is not conducive to putting you in a position to where you can mitigate your risk. And this is just the one example that just came up this morning. A guy delivers to a major retailer, I won't mention the name of the company, a major retailing company, and as the check-in at the gate, the check-in procedure is that you reach out of the cab, your truck, you reach out the window and you grab a handset, like a phone handset, and you have to put it up to your here to check in to the receiving office. So every driver that comes through there and checks in has to pick up this phone, put it up to your face, call the receiving office. There's no sanitary wipes out there or any of these other things that allow you. And obviously, I'm going to assume most people that are out there don't have those with you. So, but the bottom point is, the bottom line of that is, the point is that we feel like that's unacceptable. We expect our customers to help you mitigate these risks just like they're mitigating it for their associates, just like we're mitigating it for our associates. So if you see those things, make sure you reach out. You can email me or comment on social media. This one came in on the safety hotline, and safety passed it along. But the good news is we've already addressed that, and we have the commitment from that customer to fix it. So that's a win for the good guys. And we'll keep fighting those battles, and we'll keep getting those wins in an effort to keep everybody as safe as we possibly can. So that's really all the subject material that I had today. I know that's a lot. There'll probably be a lot next week, but this thing is changing every day. So thanks for everything you do. God bless you. I thank you. My family thanks you. Be safe. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Blomberg and I work in the reefer sales department. I want to thank everyone out there for doing what's best and doing what's right to support our customers in this time of crisis. We're doing our best here at home too. I'm currently sharing an office with my sister in recruiting and my husband in dispatch. So we're all doing everything we can here. And I just want you all to know that we're here to support you and thank you for all that you do. Stay safe out there.
Hi, my name is John Blomberg. I work in Reefer Dispatch. I want to say thanks to all you folks out there keeping America going. Thanks to our great IT department. We will continue to support you as long as needed from the house until we're able to come back into the office. Just want to say thanks.
Hi, my name is Heather Bishop. I work in recruiting. I just want to say thank you to all the drivers out there keeping things going, and I'm going to continue to do my part to try to get more people in to build our team up. And again, thank you and stay safe.
Hi, I'm Heather Moenkhoff with Cardinal Sleep, and I'm just here to let you know how the services are working as we are on this journey. So what we're going to do is we are still providing equipment. We have a pickup every day, so it's once a day, and you can call me on a number that I'm going to give you here at the end of this, and we'll be able to provide any replacement equipment. We are still providing compliance reports for the drivers for their physicals. I'm also going to give you that number to call, whether you're at a Concentra or you're here at Trinity. And also, if you want to check your compliance, you are still more than welcome to call me at any time, and I'll go over that with you. So the number that you're going to call for those things is 353-9938, and we'll make sure that you get taken care of. We can also ship your equipment or replacement parts to anywhere that you need that done. Home, another terminal, here at this terminal if it's going to be on the weekend. So just make sure you get a hold of me and we'll make sure you get taken care of. I also have some information in the event that anyone were to test positive and they are on therapy. As of now, no drivers have, so that's great. But if you were, once you see your provider and you have tested positive and they send you home with mild symptoms, then continue to use your CPAP. I checked with our providers at Cox, and that is what they are recommending, to go ahead and continue to use that. Once you have gone through that phase, if this happens to anyone, then providers of the machine, the equipment, Respironics, they are recommending that you replace tubing, mask, and filters, and just clean your equipment. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you.
I'm Sam Messick. I'm the fuel manager here at Prime, and I also work in our accounting department. First, I just wanted to thank you all for what you're doing every day for our country and for our company. It's much appreciated. Also wanted to give you just a few updates. We've got a lot of questions over the last several days and weeks about what our fuel vendors are doing to support our business and you all as you're out over the road. We've got some complaints about restaurants and things being closed during the nighttime hours at fuel locations. Please keep in mind that these folks are doing the best that they possibly can. I think this is a very odd, dynamic situation, a dynamic environment for all of us. Many of the fuel stops have decreased their overnight hours at the restaurants, but they still have robust offerings with deli sandwiches, fresh fruits, vegetables, salads, all kinds of snacks available in their stores. We encourage you to take advantage of what they do have to offer. And I can promise you that we are pushing these folks to offer every possible amenity that they can to you as an operator. And I can promise you that their goal is to service your business and Prime's business as effectively as possible. Some of the encouraging things that the fuel vendors are doing is Love's, for example, has taken some of the folks that were working overnight in the restaurant, and they've actually reallocated some of that labor into cleaning their stores. So they've actually added about 54 hours per store worth of cleaning time to each of their facilities, just to help you as an operator stay healthy and safe out over the road. Some of the other things that folks are doing is TA Petro has waived preferred parking fees at a couple of their facilities. They are all trying to acquire sanitary type products for you to purchase in their stores. We really appreciate their support during this time and appreciate your understanding as they kind of develop and are dynamic in these tough times. But really appreciate what you all are doing. I wanted to mention too today, Andrea Mueller and I did a Facebook Live video in regards to all things fuel network, some great exciting updates about the fuel discounts that we have recently had implemented in our fueling network. So I encourage you to go to our Facebook page, check that out. Has a lot more information and detail even about the things that are being done during the COVID-19 situation. But thank you for all you're doing, and please let us know if there's anything we can do to help or if there's any situations that we need to address over the road.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those little snippets that we had there. I think it's just so fantastic that a company as big as Prime is can get such buy-in from people such as Robert Lowe, the owner of the company, the founder of the company. We have Steve Wutke. I can't keep Steve away. He wants to be in every video. We had all three divisions, our reefer division, our flatbed division, our tanker division. These guys could talk for hours to you about what you're doing out there and how proud they are of you. And also what we're doing here. Several of the speakers have mentioned it. The majority, probably close to 95% of our office workers are literally working from the house. You saw one video there with John Blomberg and Jennifer and Heather, and it's just so neat of what they're getting done at home. And they're not giving up anything. They're working, in fact, more hours while they're at home to make sure that they support you. We also had Heather talk about Cardinal Sleep. She's all in on that. She did say that there's been 3 positives. I do want to make sure it's clear to you, those 3 positives have all been in the office environment. So for our drivers, not a single positive yet. And I hope we can keep that going. We also had Dr. Abraham and Jason Seymour talking about what we're doing, again, what COVID-19 is and how it affects us all. And Sam Messick. Sam's got a big job, and I know you get a little frustrated at the truck stops. We get frustrated at them, but they truly are doing the best that they can in these difficult times. I think everyone is. We keep on them. If we see something we don't like, we bring it to their attention. Not that dissimilar from the rest areas in Pennsylvania that got closed within a day or so. We as a trucking community had them back open. I do want to mention checkpoints. You may have heard of some of those, particularly going into Florida. As they're designed, they don't impact commercial vehicles. You guys basically have a green light. They may ask you to slow down or go to a special lane, but they're not checking trucks to the degree that they're checking cars. So I just wanted you to know that. Accident-wise, you're doing great out there. Roadside inspections are down. I think this is probably a pretty good time to be driving out there if you get the COVID-19 idea out of your head. There's less traffic, less inspections going on. Let's take advantage of this while we can. We saw some great earnings last week. Let's keep that up. Every week's going to be different, but right now, Prime is shining. Trucking is shining, but on top of that, trucking pyramid is Prime. So as everyone before me said, thank you for what you're doing. We can't say that enough. We can't say what you're doing for America enough. The only reason we can go to the store and buy something is because you guys are out there. So thank you for that. We're going to continue these videos once a week. So I hope to see everyone next week when we make another video. Thank you, and please be safe.